Hi, welcome to WST Talks. My name is Dominique Dotson, a blogger for Women's Sports Today, and today I'm here with Liam Haycock. He's currently a soccer player at a collegiate Division II school, and he plays soccer. So today we're kind of just talking about and discussing the inequality in pay between men's and women's soccer at the U.S. level. So pretty much the U.S. team and even at the professional league level, such as the MLS, which is the men's, I believe it's men's soccer league? Men's soccer league.
Major League Soccer.
Yeah, Major League Soccer. And then the Women's National Soccer League, or the
NWSL.
There we go. Okay. So, currently, the women's U.S. team has filed a lawsuit against U.S. Soccer, stating that there has been a breach under the Equal Pay Act, in which they believe that the men's soccer team or the men's U.S. team has been getting better treatment in pay, just in quality, in gear, and just an overall experience in which they're being treated pretty much better than the women's team. So, famous players such as Hope Solo, Alex Morgan, Carly Lloyd, Megan Rapinoe, and Becky Sauerbrunn, are pretty much came together and found lawyers and have taken action against U.S. Soccer. So one of the facts that we can get into it is you really can see a pay difference. I mean, Liam can see it too.
You can definitely differentiate between the pay slips that everyone's getting. Women's soccer obviously hasn't taken off as it should do compared to men's soccer. I don't think it's any surprise to anyone really the difference there is. I think we all noticed that women's soccer actually brings in a bigger crowd.
Exactly, internationally.
On TV, especially in America itself, with women's soccer being probably, I would say, the biggest sport in this country. Whereas for men's soccer, obviously the MLS players such as Kaka, who's on $7 million a year, compared to women's soccer players who have got a maximum pay of $39,000. It's highly noticeable, and obviously there's ways you've got to be able to change it, but can't see those changes happening anytime soon.
Yeah, exactly. So one of the issues that the women's U.S. soccer team has specifically stated is that, and you can see the pay difference, is that U.S. soccer had allotted $31.1 million to generate the men's team. So that includes flights, travel, food, gear, promotional venues, trainers, insurance, anything, facilities, essentially anything that they need to operate. When the women's team, unfortunately, had only a budget of $10.3 million. So, they had 2/3 less than what the men had, even though the women are always, when it comes to World Cup or even when it comes to the Olympics, they are always, honestly, finalist contenders. If they're not in the semifinals, they're in the finals or the quarterfinals. So it's just that the lack of appreciation and the lack of pay that they're getting isn't equaling what they should.
I think more needs to be done, obviously, on everyone's behalf, really, not just the officials higher up. I think it starts with people who are trying to watch the sport, so we've got to get more women to stand up for it, sort of thing. I think we need to see a change in that. Women need to start watching the sport a lot more. They have to start enhancing it for themselves, because that's the only way it's going to take off a lot more, if they take a stand on stuff like that. Because we need watching more on the TV, because TV channels, I haven't really seen a women's soccer game advertised on the TV. I only see the MLS, which obviously is a big concern, obviously, if you want to watch.
Yeah, because if you ever really see women's soccer being promoted, it's not the National Soccer League that they have. It'll be it's World Cup season time. Or if you do see women's soccer, it's in a Nike ad, but it's mixed in with other sports that are dominated by men. So it's kind of just the lack of representation shows like in a way like a lack of care, and that's what like these players on the national team are trying to do. Is like they're trying to show an awareness because like based on the Equal Pay Act that they believe U.S. soccer is breaching is that men and women, no matter based on their gender, if it's equal work, it's equal pay, and they're all professional athletes. We can split hairs by saying, oh, a man can bench 250 and like a woman can bench like 140. But in the grand scheme of things, if you're maxing out your bench, you're maxing out your bench. Or if you're running your 300s or you're running sprints or you're training for that off season, it's still the same amount of time and still the same amount of effort. It doesn't matter if, well, like he's lifting more, but like Alex Morgan isn't. It's still they're professional athletes, and professional athletes should equal the same pay. And just like what Liam said, people make the grand claim that like, oh, well, like people don't watch women's sports because like it's boring, or like women don't care, so why should we? And that's why we pay men more rather than women. But if we have that mind frame, women are never going to be able to break that glass ceiling when it comes to equal pay and opportunity.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I think obviously men's soccer obviously is taking off a lot further than what women's soccer has, and it's an issue that is very much open and up in the air, and I can't see any difference being made. Personally, I don't see it changing because of the way the system is structured. Men's soccer is always going to be at the top of the food chain for any sport, and for women's soccer to become a part of that, there has to be a change at the top, as well as ourselves trying to promote the sport more. I think people at the top have to start to learn that these women are professionals as well.
Exactly.
As well as the men. They're all professionals. They're all playing at the peak of their performance. They're all taking commitments to play professionally. They haven't got a side job. So if they're only getting paid $39,000 a year, that for a living wage for a professional women's soccer player is not enough.
Yeah, like the stress like that your body gets put through. Like I'm someone who has like recovered from a torn ACL, and like in women's soccer there are high rates of like ACL tears or just like strains or just like broken bones, and like things like when you put your body, like the one thing that you truly have at the end of the day on the line, when like you get paid $39,000 or $30,000 and you look over someone's making 70, it's like
it's frustrating.
Yeah, and
another thing you got to think about though is women give birth. They have children.
Exactly.
They have to carry children, and obviously that puts their sport on hold, so they can't perform while they're going through 10 months pregnancy. It's tough. So there has to be better pay for them to be able to support their families as they get older as well. Whereas male professional, I'm not saying that they can't take time off as well for the child, but it's a lot.
They have the option.
They have that option,
yeah.
And obviously the money that they're making as well, the income. What's that for a professional male soccer player? It's nothing. They can easily go back to that.
Yeah. So that's like pretty much what we just wanted to discuss today. I want to thank you, Liam, for coming on today. Thank you for a little bit of soccer insight. I really know nothing about soccer, but thank you so much, Liam, for coming out today and talking about this. All right.